Notre Dame football enters the 2025 college football season with a ton of momentum, and the reason for that, a lot of talent returning on both sides of football, but there is one position offensively that has me a little bit worried. Let's talk about this tight end group and the uncertainty around the position and the names to know entering the fall. Ryan Roberts from A to Z Sports, breaking down everything Notre Dame football. Folks, a lot of optimism around this program, and for very good reason. Head coach Marcus Freeman and this talented group has come off their best season in terms of total wins in program history, 14 victories, obviously made the national championship. That game didn't end the way Notre Dame wanted, but still a whole lot of progress in 2024. Now 2025, you need to take it up the next notch. Unfortunately, there has to be some conversations around some position groups that just are unnerving and need to get a little bit better and so have some uncertainty. Now we're about to enter spring football, so maybe some answers will be had and made during this session. But ultimately, the tight end position, which has been a strength at Notre Dame for a very, very long time. You all, of course, know the names: Dave Casper, Mark Bavaro, more recently the Tyler Eiferts, the Kyle Rudolphs, Michael Mayer. There's been a lot of great, Cole Kmet, a lot of great tight ends in Notre Dame history. But we have seen a little bit of a downslide recently. Mitchell Evans did some good things for this Notre Dame program, but if we're talking about the health of that room right now, it is a little bit concerning. With the injury to Cooper Flanagan late in the season during the playoff run and uncertainty for his overall availability in 2025, that room is very thin, and there's potential for this to end up being a disaster room, to not be overly hyperbolic here. Right now, you are returning Eli Raritan, who's a talented football player, but he just had less than 100 yards receiving this past year. I understand he was not the guy that was utilized at the highest volume in this offense, working behind Mitchell Evans, but still, that is your number one returning tight end in 2025. And not to mention, Eli Raritan also has had some injury concerns in the past. So working through lack of production, needing to take a step forward, and also counting that he's had 2 ACL tears, in like 4 years. So he has been banged up, to say the least. Can he stay healthy and emerge as that tight end one? Notre Dame's going to need him to be, because right now, after Eli Raritan, without Cooper Flanagan in the fold, your scholarship tight ends right now are Kevin Bauman, who's had his own long string of injuries and hasn't been obviously a focal point of this offense the last couple years. And you have redshirt freshman Jack Larson. Now, maybe Jack Larson takes a step forward, but I have my doubts that he's going to be a year 2 breakout potentially for this room. You do have Ty Washington coming in, who is the transfer from Arkansas. You also have James Flanagan, true freshman tight end, who I like a lot, who I think is going to be a really good player at Notre Dame coming in. The problem is that neither one of those players is going to be here in the spring. They are going to be summer enrollees for this Notre Dame team. So are you counting on, and I think you can count on Ty Washington more than a James Flanagan, because at least Ty Washington has been in a college football setting. He's been able to, get bigger, develop his physically, play in college football games. So maybe he comes in and he's the seamless tight end too. But at Arkansas, outside of one football game the last 3 years, he was not an overly productive player. So are we counting on him to be a fixture as a potential top 2 tight end in this group? Can James Flanagan get ready, even though he is not an early enrollee? We know that trials and tribulations that brings to potentially making an early impact. The tight end position is one of the most historic and proud ones positionally at Notre Dame outside of offensive line. And if you are looking at potential impact that group is going to have in 2025, I have my doubts, and I'm a little bit hesitant on that group just overall. I hope I'm wrong, but this is a little bit of a boomer bust position for Notre Dame heading into the 2025 season. Folks, put in the comment section, are you worried about the tight end group? Do you think they'll be just fine? Who do you think emerges as the role players in that room? And make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and we'll talk to you next time. As always, go Irish.